Ha guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. No Warriors mega deal forces Wiggins Kuminga under spotlight. Assuming the core of the roster stays intact over the next 19 days, the Warriors will open training camp with only two players, Stephen Curry and Raymond Green, are short of being starters. We know what Curry has done and still can do. We know what Green has done, most of which he still can do when available. What neither we nor the Warriors know is what they will get from Andrew Wiggins, who has a 99% chance of starting. The same applies to Jonathan Kuminga, who would seem to have at least an 80% chance to start if Curry and Green are available and playing at their customary level. Any reasonable chance of the Warriors getting back to the 50-win mark for only the second time since 2019 is dependent on either Wiggins and Kuminga perhaps both performing at or near all-star level. Too much to ask maybe, but it shouldn't be. Wiggins has been an all-star being voted in by fans as a Western Conference starter. Indiana 20122. He responded by reaching his peak a few months later, becoming a driving force as the Warriors rolled through an impressive postseason that concluded with an NBA Finals victory over the Boston Celtics. Wiggins during those playoffs gave Golden State marvelous defense while averaging 16.5 points on 46.9% shooting and 7.5 rebounds. It was a sterling 22-game stretch as the number one overall pick of the 2014 draft stayed focused and shed much of his reputation as a chronic underachiever. In the 2 seasons since Wiggins has regained most of that reputation, his production has dipped, and more detrial to their Warriors. He has missed 56 games, mostly for family reasons. Golden State coach Steve Kerr has stated on numerous occasions that the shooting guard SLS small forward positions of Klay Thompson and Wiggins are interchangeable. They're of similar size, with Wiggins the better athlete. Klay is the more natural shooter, Wiggins more of a slasher. Thompson's departure to Dallas opens a door for Wiggins to walk through. Wiggins 29 knows he's not the 5-time All-Star that Klay is, but realizes he'll have an expanded offensive role. His generally placid demeanor obscures a competitive nature that runs hotter than most think. Wiggins likely will embrace a new challenge, might even need it if the absences continue, though Wiggins won't be much help to the Warriors and surely will miss the festivities when All-Star Weekend returns to the Bay Area in February. Which brings us to Kuminga. He craves all-star status and the perks that come with it. The 21-year-old forward has big dreams for his career, for his family, for his homeland in Africa. Being an NBA All-Star would be a massive step toward bringing those grand hopes to life. Kuminga 21 is eligible for a contract extension and reportedly wants the maximum, about $225 million. ESPN insider reveals which Warriors player rival teams should be trying to steal. They may lack in the top-end star power to be a legitimate Western Conference contender right now, but there's no doubting that the Golden State Warriors will enter the 2024-25 season as one of the deepest teams in the league. It makes for a fascinating training camp next month, with a raft of rotation questions up in the air before the Warriors officially start their preseason against the LDOA Clippers in Hawaii on October 5th. While their depth will be important to cover injuries and generally create a healthy competition for minutes, it could also cause problems for Golden State when genuinely valuable rotation players are left trotting on the bench. One of those whose opportunity has been limited over the past 2 seasons, much to the frustration of Warrior fans, is young wing Moses Moody. The 22-year-old's future is again up in the air this off-season, particularly given his extension eligible entering the final year of his rookie deal. Moody was a topic of discussion on a recent episode of the Low Post podcast, where ESPN's Zach Lowe and Bobby Marks focused on some of the biggest contract situations heading into the season. Lowe believes Moody could get maybe a little north of the mid-level, which fits into Kendra Andrews' also of ESPN previous expectation that the former 14th overall pick may be in line for a deal ranging between 11 to 13 million per season. However, L also approached the idea of Moody being traded, stating, "If I were another team, I'd be trying to steal M's Moody on the cheap." Both Lowe and Marks indicated that they like the fourth-year wing as a player, but that opportunity could once again be in short supply after the off-season additions of Anthony Melton, Buddy He and Kyle Anderson. Moody is no stranger to being in trade speculation, including this off-season where Golden State's reported offer for All-Star forward Lauri Markkanen and featured him alongside a boatload of future draft capital. It's difficult to evaluate Moody's trade value given the lack of playing time over his first 3 seasons, making his acquisition a potential steal as low suggests if a rival team can persuade their Warriors to move on from their former lottery pick. 2 former Celtics floated as Lakers trade targets now that they are no longer on the Boston Celtics. The Los Angeles Lakers may keep tabs on Celtics alumni Marcus Smart and Malcom Brogdon. Bleacher Report's Eric Pincus floated them as potential trade targets for the Lakers in a September 10 story. Pincus first explained how the Memphis Grizzlies may decide to put Smart on the market if the team hits a roadblock. Smart could become available at the deadline based on his age, salary and position, as the team is heavily invested in Desmond Bane and Morant. Jaren Jackson Jr. will also be due a new deal starting in 2026-27. Pincus wrote he then explained the pros that come with acquiring Smart. The Lakers need to improve defensively in the backcourt. Smart is a strong, tough, physical defender with significant postseason experience. Pincus then explained why Brogdon would fit with the Lakers. Brogdon's contract is short and he's less likely to earn nearly as much in his next deal. Pincus wrote Brogdon is a 39.1% three-point shooter career. Smart will start his second season with the Grizzlies while Brogdon will be on his 4th team in 4 seasons on the Washington Wizards pending any trades. The Portland Trail Blazers traded Brogdon to the Wizards on June 26 following the trade. Hoop Pipes Michael Scotter reported that Brogdon was still a trade candidate on June 26. The Wizards acquire future draft capital and Malcom Brogdon will become a trade candidate to be flipped by Washington. Scotto posted on his X account. However, The Athletic's Josh Robbins reported that Brogdon would likely start the season with the Wizards. Malcom Brogdon is highly likely to begin the regular season with the Wizards. All that talk about Washington intending to immediately reroute Brogdon after Denob's trade to Portland was premature, Robbins wrote in a July 6 story. Robbins added that even if Brogdon starts the season in Washington, another trade is possible. Does that mean Brogdon will finish the 2024-25 season with Washington? That remains to be seen, but he could be dealt elsewhere before the February trade deadline. As long as he remains healthy, he should draw interest in a trade because he's entering the final year of his contract and because contending teams might need guard help by that time. During the LeBron James era, the Lakers have added multiple former Celtics to help them on their quest for a title. Since James signed with the team, they have signed Isaiah Thomas, Rajon Rondo, Avery Bradley, Dennis Schroeder and Tristan Thompson. They have also had other Celtics alumni, but before they became Celtics, like Schroeder, SBI, Mike Muscular and DML Wagner. This has led to some success as Rondo and Bradley helped the Lakers win the 2020 NBA title. Schroeder helped the Lakers reach the 2023 Western Conference Finals. Smart and Brogdon would help the Lakers get back into contention, but it depends on whether those two become available. The Wizards are in a rebuild, so Brogdon is more likely to be available. The Grizzlies are trying to make the playoffs, so Smart likely won't be available for some time. And you fan, what do you think of the situation of Malcom Brogdon? Leave your opinion in the comments.